Hey everybody, Karthik Subramaniam over at Adi Schools. Welcome to our weekly podcast. I wanted to share an email that I recently got from a real estate student who took my class, I'd say probably about 3.5 years ago, I'm going to say. And her name's not important, but she sent me an email, and I'm wondering if some of our other students are going through the same thing, but I want to read the email. It says, "Dear Karthik, I took your real estate class about 3.5 years ago." And by the way, she sent this to me anonymously. It was sent through a random Gmail account. But she said, I took your real estate class about 3.5 years ago, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and my husband was making about $50,000 a year. I decided to get my real estate license just as something to do in my spare time, and it's turned into a great career for me. In fact, last year, I made $375,000 and did 32 transactions. Here's the problem, the email says. Now, my husband wants a divorce. I make way more money than my husband, and I'm scared this slightly intimidates him, and that's caused our marriage to fall apart. What do you recommend that I do? Now, first of all, I don't normally get emails like this, so I was kind of shocked, but I felt it warranted a response. So here's what I would say. First, I don't know why your husband's pissed. If I was married and my wife made, 5 times more money than me, why the hell would I have a problem with that, number one? And number two, I'm not sure if maybe he was used to certain things at the house that aren't being done anymore. I don't know, maybe he used to cook dinner every night, or maybe used to, I'm not married, so I don't know what that dynamic is like, but I would say you're making enough money where anything within reason that you were doing before, you could probably just hire someone else to do now anyway. So I really don't understand what the problem is. In fact, I'm going to go to church on Sunday and pray that I find a wife that makes 5 times more money than I do. So I would say I would continue to move forward in your career. And it's funny because the Mike Ferry Superstar Retreat in Las Vegas, where there's about 4,000 to 5,000 real estate agents from all over the country that gather in Las Vegas once a year for this annual big superstar retreat. And it's crazy because 2 years ago, I'm going to say, maybe it was 2015, they had a real estate agent from, I forget where she was from, but basically she was going through this exact same situation where she had started to make, I think she was maybe making like $1 million a year. And she was going through the same thing. Her marriage was falling apart because she made, I'm going to put air quotes around this, too much money, and her husband couldn't handle it. But I think if you have a life partner or somebody that you're with, and you start being very successful, I don't understand why this possibly could put a strain on your relationship in any way. And again, I'm the last person that should be giving relationship advice about anything, but I can give you advice about real estate, and I can give you advice about making money in our real estate business. The goal for most real estate agents is to do more deals, make more money, and be more successful. You're doing that. I don't know why whether it's a husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, I don't know why they should have a problem with this at all. So I'm guessing maybe there were some other things that were like underlying this tension, but I would certainly say, money is not everything, but it's kind of like oxygen, right? You don't think about it until you don't have it anymore. So the more money you can make and the more successful you can be, I think that's the goal of most real estate agents. So congratulations on your success. And I wish I had more relationship advice. I would say, I feel like I'm compelled to say seek counseling, but I don't even know what that means. But, keep making money, and hopefully you'll make $700,000 next year, and $2 million the year after that, and $5 million the year after that, and keep building and keep being successful. But I also think the tone of this email, I basically paraphrased it, but the tone of this email almost was like an undertone of sadness, to be perfectly honest. Like, why isn't my husband more supportive? Why isn't he, happy for my success? I don't know what the answer to that is. It's funny because almost the opposite thing tends to happen in the real estate business from people that take our class. In fact, I'll give you an example. What tends to happen to people that take real estate classes and start selling real estate is, let's say, the husband has a regular 9-to-5. The wife is, let's say, a housewife. Let's say she starts to get, she gets her real estate license and starts working. All of a sudden, little Timmy has a tummy ache. Husband says, to the wife, honey, Timmy has a tummy ache, and can you go pick him up from school? And instead of working on her business, she ends up picking him up from school. Then the dishwasher starts to leak. Husband tells the wife, honey, can you meet the dishwasher repairman? The dishwasher guy needs to be let in. The cable guy needs to be let in. And all of a sudden, the spouse that's self-employed as a real estate agent tends to be the one taking care of all these errands. And then 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 months go by, and the husband tells the wife, you haven't made any money recently. Are you sure you want to continue with this real estate thing? Because you're the one self-employed, and you're the one that ends up doing all those chores because you have the flexible schedule. This situation's the opposite, right? The self-employed person is killing it, making a ton of money, 5x more than the husband is, and now, somehow the husband feels emasculated or doesn't want to support the wife's career. And again, by the way, this could be, you can reverse the gender. Maybe the wife is an attorney making $120,000 a year. The husband, worked at UPS making $60,000 a year. Husband gets his real estate license, and all of a sudden he's doing way better than the wife. Money can change relationships, right? For better or for worse. Frankly, most of us probably grew up in a situation where it wasn't the fact that one person was making too much money. It's the fact that, people weren't making enough money, and that caused tension. So I don't freaking know. I'm confused by the email. Why the hell is your husband mad that you're making 5 times more than you are? I don't know the answer to that, but I don't know. There's a saying, people are rich and poor. Rich is better. So keep working at it. I wish you continued success. And this is a new email. I don't know if I gave you good advice, but I hope it all works out. I'm sure it will in the end. Anyway, follow us on Instagram, Facebook. You can find me, Karthik's Picks, KartikSPICS, or audieschools.com. If you want to get in touch, our number is 888-768-5285. We will catch up with you guys next week. Talk to you later.